Welcome to Wild Weekend. I'm Natalie Merrill.
And I'm Alex Walker.
And today we get to watch the Wild and San Francisco Falcons play. This weekend has big implications for playoffs. The San Francisco Falcons need to win at least one game and then win again against Arizona. And Wild is still pretty early in their season. They've only played 2 games. And so this weekend, they also need to do well as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the return of Kat Songer for the Wild. She was a big part of their offense in the first game against Colorado. And then on the Falcons side offensively, I think they're going to be running a lot of offense through Gina Schumacher, number 47 tonight, missing a few of their higher-powered offensive players.
It's true. It's true. I'm excited, too, to see how this goes. The Wild have played 2 games, both against Colorado, so it'll also be fun to see how they play against a new team. We haven't seen this yet. We haven't seen any interdivisional play, and we haven't seen even just a different team. So I'm excited to see how that lines up.
Exactly. I have to imagine they're excited also to play a different team.
Yes.
And to get more into the meat of their season, as these Northwest teams, a couple of the squads are really in the early season, where San Francisco, I think, is through the bulk of it and only has a couple games left.
It's true. It's true. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how these players play. I'm excited. The weather this year is significantly better than last year. We've got Schumacher on our screen, and yeah, well, these Falcons are excited. We're a little nervous for them because the weather's about to get a lot colder out here.
Yeah, I think San Francisco is not a notably warm city, but they've definitely played in more pleasant weather than tonight, where it's 45 degrees and dropping.
Yes, and dropping. The sun's going down, so it's about to get quite a bit colder, but it's not windy at all. Our game earlier today had a little bit of a breeze, and so I'm excited that there's no wind in this one. We should see a lot of person defense, I would say. I bet we see a lot of big hucks, and hopefully a really well fought game, and we always love a close game.
Yeah, I'm curious which version of the Wild is going to come out tonight. There was the offense that held at a 70+% clip at the first home game here, and then 2 weeks ago in Colorado, their offense held at a 47% clip.
Yes, which is a pretty big difference. But also, like you said, we've got Kat Songer back, and that first game she managed a lot of the touches, got a lot of assists, scored a few points. She had a lot of stats in that game. So for the season, the Utah Wild goals for and against are 17.5. Falcons have played games that have been lower scoring, but on both ends. Turnovers, the Wild has quite a few turnovers, more than the Falcons, but also more points as well. And then the hold percentages are, they're fairly close, and available yards to gain is also pretty similar, and so this should be a really nice game, a really good matchup.
Yeah, the Wild have a slight edge in both categories, in all categories.
It's true.
So we've got the Wild starting on offense and San Francisco starting on defense.
We've got a poll from number 43. 42.
That's Kobe. That's Jackie Wynn, previous Callahan winner with Cal Berkeley.
Yep, and we have Paige Kircher with the disc right now. And up to Paige Kircher again, around to Williams. Kircher streaks upfield. We've got an around.
San Francisco has clearly scouted this Wild offense. It looks like they've got a little bit of a poachy set, and they're shutting off those easy wide swings and continues.
Yeah, Perquette with the big hug up to Sarah Stoller, and hits her in stride right off the back of the stack.
A teardrop right in the bucket for Perquette. Just a great starting offensive possession for the Wild.
Oh yeah, that was so smooth. Their offense looked to be flowing quite a bit better than it did last week or 2 weeks ago when they played Colorado. But yeah, I liked the movement. I also liked the defense by the Falcons as well.
Yeah, strong defense. I liked the set, breaking up that initial offensive motion of the Wild. I was told that Perquette Mack was moved over to play a larger role on the offense tonight, and I think you can see it immediately paying dividends.
Yeah, it's true. I have played and coached Mac, and she's an incredible player and really, really an impactful player. And she's really cautious with the disc, so it's fun to see her take some hucks, and I'm glad that she's playing a larger part. So we've got our D-line. We have Atwell, Miller, Hirishnikovic, Caldwell, Robbins, and we've got Norris and
Hunter.
Okay, up to number 17, and then back around. Looks to be a little bit of a sag, mostly force forehand upfield to number 33 and then to number 47, Schumacher. And like we predicted, she'd make some big plays. That was an unreal huck all the way up to number 24, Hernandez Flowerman.
Beautiful same third huck there. The Wild defense keeping the Falcons on the force side, but that didn't even matter.
It's true. That was a no-wind huck, that's for sure. It was too perfect.
Too perfect. The Falcons already seem calibrated to altitude.
Yeah,
Great,
it's true.
Strong offensive motion into Schumacher, who finds a wide open Flowerman.
It looks like Miller was slotted over to kind of be help defense there, but it seemed like that cut was pretty locked down when she put it anyway, and rightfully so. That was a nice throw. Okay, so we're 1-1. So far, some pretty quick turns. What I found with these WUL games are pretty quick points. I feel like the first couple points are always really clean, and then that's when things start to get interesting, and we'll get some long points with some turns and break chances in here. So we've got Aragon up to Kat Songer. Songer to Kircher. And Kircher around to Stanislawski.
A little bit of maybe a forced middle for San Francisco here.
Bigham with the disc and around to Aragon. Another around up to Kircher.
Yep, definitely a forced middle for the Falcons.
Oh, and just a little out of the reach of Kat Songer. So this is our first break chance of the game. We've got number 32, Chu, picking up the disc. Perquette on the mark. Looks like they stayed in an H stack. We've got an around to number 2, Munson, and just a little overthrown to number 36, Wong.
Unfortunate for the Falcons, they had the disc out inside the Wild half and didn't get it through, but great, good, strong pressure by the Wild O-line to get the disc back.
Kircher with the disc, around to Stanislawski, and around to Bigham. Oh, just a little out of Bigham's reach. So 32, Chu is going to pick it up again.
You can see this force middle causing some problems.
It's true.
Oh,
and a handball by Perquette. Yes.
Yes. Oh, you see the defense of Mac as well, of Mac Perquette paying dividends there too. Really shutting down that the D-line offense.
Oh, Songer around to Cogburn, back up to Songer. Got an in cut from Perquette. Songer up to Brooke. Get up, Brooke.
Not
Just
quite.
a little too high.
As soon as you talked about those clean offensive points, here we
exactly.
are.
I should have waited a few more points to. Quick give and go motion by the Falcons. Got around up to Wong again. Or Munson, sorry.
Looks like we got Chu with the disc.
There's a call on the field. Oh, it looks like a pick. Cogburn called a pick on number 29, Stepanitis. Checking the disc back in. Got 32 with a big huck out to space. Hits her in stride and not quite in. That's to number 98, Loop. You got an ISO cutter down deep, and the first break of the game to 32. 32,
loop.
Vivian Chu.
Yeah, that's Loop to Chu. Bit of a speculative huck, but the offensive player's in the right position.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good break. The Wild had multiple chances and just didn't quite put it in.
No. Let's see a replay. First, we get to see a hand block.
Yeah, so this is a great defensive play. Just great that's textbook marking by Perquette.
And a nice big high huck. I love the air under that huck.
Caught by Loop under pressure, and then on the doorstep here.
A nice patience. I love that she looked off the receiver that already had a defender and threw it to the wide open Chu.
Okay.
So first break of the game, we're already starting out. So O-line receiving again. Got Kircher up to Songer. Back to Kircher.
Just all
Up to
person
Williams.
now.
Williams with a huck. Oh, and we've got some tripping on the field. We'll see if there's a call. Looks to be a foul.
Looks like there was a call in the field.
Looks like it's Marlena Lur there.
Discussion on the field. Let's see a replay of that. Oh, I can see she had the inside lane and stayed true to her line. So we'll see.
Yes, okay, foul. It's contestants coming to me. No foul.
No foul.
Yes, foul. I'm holding. Sorry. I'm
Oh,
holding. Yes.
Okay.
just kidding. Foul on the field.
The observer got his tongue tied a little bit there. I was going to say that is, at least when you're watching football, that is textbook pass interference.
Yes, exactly.
Back with the disc.
Okay, Stanislawski picked up the disc. Around to Kat Songer.
Ooh.
Oh, we've got another foul. Well, let them discuss it.
Well, a little more physical than I would like, personally.
Well, I don't think that she expected that she would slide, and so she needed to stop a little sooner than she thought. Williams around to Bigham. Bigham around to Perkett. A nice run down.
Great
I
score.
love that end zone offense there.
Yeah, that's 1 assist and 1 goal for Mac Perkett and 3 points. That's
Oh, I'm so glad we talked about her. How did you know? She's a pretty big deal.
You can see the forced
And
middle.
a D.
Yes. You can see, and a hand block. You can see that forced middle, though, of the Falcons causing a little bit of problems.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think the offense is going to get together on the sideline and figure out,
Yep.
just say, here's what we want to do differently.
It's true. Well, and just like we talked about, this is their first new team that they've played.
There it is. There's a little bit of a bump, and then Kat fortunately pops up. Kat Songer, a pediatric care fellow.
Yes, she is.
Ew.
And she took care of our friend's baby. Just this fall. Her and I had a great chat about it at a 5v5 tournament a couple weeks ago, and our friend said she was just an absolutely incredible doctor and meant a lot to her. So
Songer and Kircher playing together. They have teammates with Cogburn also on World Championship mixtape,
yes.
World and National Championship.
Kaylee Caldwell with the pole. Slides to the line. We've got him trapped on the forehand side. 21 with the disc. Looks to be left-handed. That is Chang. Chang with a nicer round to Pugh, and then Pugh with another around all the way to Hernandez-Flowerman.
Beautiful inside shot there by Pugh breaking the trap.
Yes. Oh, Molly Robbins almost with the D. And let's see, we've got 33, Moreau. With the big huck all the way down to 13.
That's Broom.
Broom. It looks like Wild was anticipating that. They had some help defense there, but they just couldn't quite get that up. That was a nice huck. Perfectly to the corner. It made it hard to make a play without it being dangerous.
Yep. No, that's the offense for San Francisco right now looks really clean. I'd like to see Utah generate a little more pressure, but credit where credit's due. The San Francisco offense is generating nice open looks, open deep shots, and Meru dropped that right into Broom.
Oh, yeah, it was
There's
incredible.
no options to play defense.
Well, and it's interesting, games like this, you don't think about it quite so much at the beginning. It's like, oh, our O-line goes on and scores, their O-line goes on and scores, but when the O-line consistently scores quickly, I feel like eventually it starts to wear on both of them. And so if the D-line can get out there and just slow them down a little bit, that buys the O-line a little more time. Okay, we've got Kat Songer picking up, centering to Paige Kircher. Kircher around to Aragon.
This is a zone look.
Up a zone look now, back to Songer. Songer back up to Aragon. Around to Perkett. Back to Aragon. Back up to Kircher.
You can see
Around to Songer. Oh!
There's the turnover.
Scuba just a little too far for Kat Songer. Only about 15 yards for the Falcons to score. We've got some miscommunication on defense. Who's guarding who? So we've got some open players.
Yeah, again, a short field turnover for the Wild. That's tough. We've got Chu with the disc here.
Burkett on the mark. And let's see, 32. Chu
There it
again
is,
with a throwaway.
miscommunication. That mark of Burkett, such a strong mark.
Got Paige going deep. Who's going to pick it up? Brooke picks it up, or Stanislawski picks it up, gets it to Kircher.
A little, just a dime again
Yes.
to Kircher.
No stall count.
Paige thought about the lead.
The leading IO. Back to Kat Songer. We've got over to Brooke, and Brooke to Burkett. It's 2 points for Burkett.
Mac, Burkett again, stuffing the stat sheet. That's really good. You can see
She
again.
likes the home crowd.
Yes. Glad that the D-line, the defense for the offensive line is strong. But
Yes.
they are struggling in those initial sets, and I like
Yes.
to see them figure that out.
Yeah.
That zone, I wouldn't be surprised to watch San Francisco go back to that. That zone was very
It
effective.
worked very well.
And they just unlucky on this communication
No.
for San Francisco. With
It's true.
Once again, another almost red zone look
So-
for the team.
No. When I love it, I feel like that's great coaching by the Falcons. They do a force middle.
Yep, they come in. They've clearly watched the film of Utah, and they've thought about ways to take away that initial motion.
Yeah, yeah. And then as soon as Wild made adjustments, then they switch it up and play a whole new kind of zone. Okay, we've got another pull. We've got our D-line. Atwell, Hunter, Wallen, Robbins, and Shelke, Sailor,
Sailor Ong and Ellie Shortall.
and Ellie Shortle.
Big pull from Carly Atwell.
Big pull. We've got 21 as our center handler, Chang. Chang around to 42, no, 13, sorry.
Molly Robbins gets close there.
No. Nice lefty and a little too far. So we've got a little bit of a short field turn, about halfway to go. Sailor picks up, puts it up to Wallen, and Shelke pulls it down. That's a Wild break.
That's a great fast
Yes,
break motion
yes.
by the Wild. Ong to Shelke. We also had Wallen in the vicinity. I think only a Wild player was going to come down with that.
Yes.
And that's a team defensive pressure forcing a throwaway.
Yes,
here.
it's true.
We see this. It was the around was too hard.
Mm-hmm.
She was forced to a Schumacher forced to even harder throw, and then a one throw break by Sailor here. That's what you're looking for,
Yeah,
honestly.
yes, that's so good. And I loved the initiative, just that Sailor saw that she had a receiver going, picked up the disc. Carrie Shelke just ran deep for it, as did Wallen, but kept the defense on their heels.
Shelke, a rookie with the Wild, is a speedster out of Montana and plays club with Montana Boondog.
Yeah. It looks like we're gonna have Lily Terpstra with the pole.
Lily is, I believe, the Wild's youngest player. She is still a high school
Still
student.
in high school. Oh, we've got Harish Nikovic taking the field this time. We've also got Amy Norris as well.
And Miller and Caldwell.
Miller and Caldwell. Okay.
The Wild
Up
looks
to-
like, or the Falcons look like they brought out the same group on offense.
Yeah. 24 back to 17, Pugh. Pugh around to 47, Schumacher. And up to 33, Moreau. Kaylee Caldwell on the mark. And around to 17. 17 up to 21, Chang. Chang to Hernandez Flowerman. And Flowerman up to Pugh. And a score just past a bidding Terpstra. And 21 with the goal, Miri Chang.
Miri Chang. I think
Mimi Chang with the score.
that offense looked really composed and really confident from the Falcons. It looked like the Wild
Yes.
were trying for a forced middle there. I think it
Yeah.
actually made the defense's life hard, and the
Yes.
offense knew what to do.
Yes.
So, I'd like to see the Wild go for maybe a fully person.
Yeah,
Here
yeah.
on this replay, we can see Miller switches the force a couple times.
Yeah.
Then it goes here to a player who had number 21, who had a lot of space for that goal.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, we've got our O-line back out. Looks to be the normal O-line.
On defense, and Utah Wild
Nice big
on
pull coming down to
offense.
Songer.
Again, we
Songer up to Kircher. Kircher around to Stanislavski. Stanislavski, high stall count, resets back to Songer. Stanislavski over to Burkett. To Bigham. And Burkett with the disc up to Kircher. Kircher to Stanislavski. With the force middle, I'd like to see more cuts coming from the stack. So one going wide and then the next one coming in a little shallower. We've got Page all the way up to Stoller with the best spike ever.
Beautiful cut by Dr. Sarah Stoller. Possibly the oldest person on the Wild.
Or in the league.
Yes,
I would say possibly oldest.
Don't want to blow up her spot, but she's 41.
Exactly.
41 and roasting fools out there.
Yeah.
But I think the Wild really patient, attacked the force middle the way they wanted to until they get this beautiful shot from Stanislavski to Kircher on the break side, and with the defense on her back, Stoller goes straight to the end zone.
Yeah. I know, I feel like our back of stack cutting has been really good. Just the patience waiting, keeping that stack a little in. I feel like in the Colorado game, their stack was so deep that we didn't have nearly as many hucks available. And today, so far, we've thrown some really nice hucks off of, to that back of stack person, which has been pretty awesome.
And I think the patience of the offense, even if the defense isn't doing, is frustrating them, is helpful.
Yes, I agree.
That was a huge pull from Carly.
That was a huge pull. Okay, we got Molly Robbins coming down. She's on the mark to 21 up to 13, Broom.
Okay, we got a wrinkle here. We got a zone.
Yeah, a little bit of a sag. Stop those initial pull plays.
Looks like we've got it looks like a 3-3-1 because we've got Hunter staying in the middle and Atwell over the top.
Oh, we almost get a D there. A little bit of contact by Hunter. Pugh back to Chang. Oh, and just out of reach of Caldwell. Caldwell recovers.
That was a aggressive throw through multiple.
It's true. We've got multiple receivers, multiple defenders, and it goes over all their heads. Atwell with the disc, walking it up to the end zone line. We've got the full field to go. But I feel like this D group has a lot of good offenders to work with. And layout grab by 3.
Incredible grab by Amy
Norris. Amy Norris around to Miller, and that's another Wild break.
Oh, Kendra, you got to spike that thing into
Yes.
the ground there. That was
She
a
never
sick
spikes it.
break. That was a huge hug from Atwell.
was
There with an even better catch.
Yes, that was unreal. And then just such a nice throw, keeping it easy. I love that Miller was heads up there and just ran straight to the end zone. She was alone. She trusted that her teammate would catch it.
Exactly. Well, they're going wild in Boise right there. That's a huge throw, or a huge catch from Amy Norris.
Yes.
All right, so Atwell picks it up from a
Nice big
standstill.
Oh,
Booms
my
it.
goodness.
Great read by Norris here.
Yeah. Oh, what a catch.
What a catch. Gets up and throws a walk-in score for Miller.
Well, I love Kendra's nice little, turn the page cut. That was awesome.
She's been there before.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she's super fast and makes it to the end zone before other players. Okay, we've got Terpstra with the pole again.
I love that zone. I wonder, are we going to see it again? I'd like to see it again.
Me too. Pole going about 3/4 of the way down. Got 17.
Falcons going
Pugh
with the
picking
same offensive line here.
Ooh, that was a nice cut by 21. Chang putting Shortle on her heels. Moreau with the disc and nice big floaty huck for,
That's
24. Hernandez Flowerman catches it over Miller.
great
They
catch
both had
by
a nice
Hernandez
lineup.
Flowerman. Just puts her body between the disc and Miller.
Yeah.
Really hard to play defense.
Oh
there.
yeah, and when she caught it so high, it really went up for it and took an aggressive line at it too.
Oh yes. I think the defensive pressure from the Wild is ratcheting up, and I like to see that.
Yes. Oh, and talking to some of the Wild players, they're saying that sometimes their D-line is just a little too nice, as in human beings.
They're just really nice
They're just really nice people, exactly. It's like, man, sometimes you need a little less niceness.
Miller's probably a little bummed about that one. But
Yes,
that's
it's
a
true.
that's a really strong throw, power position throw in stride to a receiver.
That's true.
Alrighty, we got
Okay, we've got a pull. Once again, about to the 30-yard line. Kircher up to, or Songer up to Kircher, around to Aragon, just off her fingertips.
Boy, she was definitely thinking about the next throw.
I know, you could see it in her eyes. She was already looking downfield.
now.
Okay, and 32 picks up, which is Chu. Looks to be a timeout called.
Timeout called.
Or a stall,
Or
or maybe a timeout before the stall.
I would hope that it was a timeout before the stall.
That's what it is.
Smart. That's,
Yeah, that
that's
was
good
great,
coaching there.
great call by the Falcons. So disc will be, let's see, it looks like they've got about, let's see, 10, about 40 yards to go to score. They're on the forehand third of the field. I think they'll come out in H or a vert stack from
I
here.
think they'll probably come out in H. I think if you're the Wild, I'd throw that zone again and make them work it a lot.
I agree. I do know that Wild's coach loves to throw a zone out of timeouts because usually you come up with a play and the zone comes out and it really changes the play.
I think the Wild O-line has to be thinking to just cut down a few of those unforced errors
Yes.
and don't give the defense these chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me just tell you, I recently
Both teams are going to keep out the same line of people.
So you all should buy one too.
Looks like number 17 is going to pick up the disc. That is Eliza Pugh. She's been getting a lot of touches. A nice long handler. Wild matching up. It looks to be a zone. Looks like a 3-3-1.
Nice.
We've got
Exactly.
exactly what you thought. Carrie
As they called
Shelke
it.
on the mark, and not quite a cup. Looks to be a little bit more of a sag, straight mark. More traditional sag here. I hear some counting, so it looks like it'll be person here in a minute. Over to 21, Chang.
A lot.
Oh, Molly Robbins with the D.
That was a lot of throws
Ellie
to get
Shortle is going to pick
nowhere.
up the disc, and we're going to have a vert stack up to Shea Wallen. Wallen with the disc, Shortle coming back for that. Around to Caldwell, and Caldwell all the way up to Wallen, who's knocking on the doorstep, up to Molly Robbins.
A travel
Looks like
call.
a travel's going to be called. Wallen kind of ran into the end zone, didn't come back out.
Looks like there was a travel call.
Bit of a brutal call considering that I don't think
Yeah.
the defensive player would have gone there, though
Yes.
it is the rule.
Yeah,
it is the
it
rule.
Is the rule.
Molly, the pro, not giving the disc back.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping it. Do I get to keep
just
it?
hold
Do
on
I
to
get to
it.
keep it?
Exactly.
That's a pro move right there.
Oh. But it's hard because now people need to remember where they were, which I guess we've got the 4 seconds for them to get back and to change their position.
Big fan of the of that D though from Molly Robbins.
Yes, it's true. Oh, and we've got some contact. Stoppage of play.
It's like a
Caldwell runs over somebody.
little bit of a
I'm kidding.
collision there, unfortunately.
I'm not sure who the player down is.
I think it might be 33 Meru.
Yeah, 33 Maru. It's hard to
Hope
read
they're-
the
hope
numbers
they're okay
upside
there.
down. Yep, 33. I think Maru was looking over her shoulder when Kaylee made a cut.
Yep.
Or
They're
when
bringing
Caldwell
in.
made a cut.
Yep, they're bringing in number 26, Bankoff.
I wonder if Wallen is going to get. Oh, it looks like I think Wallen may be coming out as well. I'm gonna send Kircher in for Wallen,
Smart.
which is probably a good idea.
Smart. Wallen at this point is probably like, I've thrown 2 goals.
I've thrown
tried
2
to throw goals
assists now.
twice now.
Used up my whole allotment for the whole game.
Yeah. I like that though. Always use that sub if you can to get
Yes.
your best player on the field.
Yes, it's true. Okay, so I think we'll have another 4-second countdown as well where players can reposition themselves.
Yes, because in
Before the stall
WUL
counts,
you can
yeah.
move. We have a small discussion
I
here.
think they're deciding if that's allowed. I think their coach says, wait, can you sub out Wallen for Kircher?
Right, and we're live.
And Kircher back to Caldwell. Caldwell back around to Kircher. Kircher to Shortle. And Shortle back to Caldwell. Up to Shelke. And Shelke to Caldwell.
That is Carly Atwell to Caldwell, but
Oh, oops, sorry.
no worries.
Sorry, Carly.
Goal's the same. That's Carly Caldwell. That's the fastest mom of 3 I know.
Oh, seriously, though. She's probably the worst person to guard that I've ever met.
Yeah.
And you should see her play pickleball.
Oh, is she also a talented pickleball player?
She's unreal.
She probably covers sideline to sideline.
Yes.
Doubles with her, you're not really doing a lot.
No, she's my favorite partner to have.
Great quarter ending sequence with a Wild. They sub their D-line on. Robbins gets a great block, and then we have a quarter finishing goal here from Atwell to Caldwell. Just a strong finish to the first quarter for the
First
Wild.
quarter. Looks like, yeah, Wild is up 7-5. Hopefully we can keep these breaks going, and we'll see you back in 2 minutes.
Own a Utah vacation rental? Vacasa is your ultimate partner. Head to vacasa.com to see how Vacasa keeps your vacation home booked, cared for, and earning to its highest potential. We are thrilled to announce the official brewery of Utah Wild for 2023, WUL Brewing. You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at this local brew pub. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer make this a great home for our watch parties and after parties. Be wilder and head out over to the WUL Brewing right after this game for Wild's official after party. This venue is 21+. We'd like to highlight one of Utah Wild's sponsors, Strive and Uplift. Strive and Uplift provides lifting and running programming to Wild athletes. With their values of accessibility, support, growth, and service, Strive and Uplift is passionate about providing high-quality movement education and sports performance guidance in a supportive environment. Through cultivating community spaces for movement and connection, Strive and Uplift helps individuals of all abilities discover how to move confidently in their bodies. To learn more, visit striveanduplift.com. A huge thank you for being a sponsor of the Utah Wild. We'd like to shout out 3 of Utah Wild sponsors: Spurt Lund at Physical Midvale, Handy and Handy Attorneys at Law, and We Win Injury Law. Their support of women and non-binary athletes helps make this season possible. For more information on these organizations, visit www.utahwildultimate.org/sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring the Utah Wild.
Welcome back. We have the Falcons, the San Francisco Falcons, receiving out of the first quarter. And we've got 21 with the disc right in the middle. Chang, Kendra tries to get that D, or Miller tries to get that D, just barely misses it. Back on the mark. 21, Chang with the disc, and all the way up to 19, Blur.
There's been quiet
Blur
tonight.
with a nice inside to Mims.
There's been quiet tonight, but gets the disc there.
Mims around to Chang.
Broom?
Or Broom, sorry.
Broom looking at the disc, throws up a speculative shot, but it works.
That was pretty nice.
Dang.
And 19 with the score, Lure.
Dang, dang, dang. If you're the Wild, that was close, but no cigar.
Yes, yes, I know. We were a lot of pressure on all those throws, but just not quite there.
Good looking offense by the Falcons under pressure.
It's true.
Really cycling through, getting those undercuts, and then moving the disc laterally to the force side, to the break side. You see here, just easy upline cut there from Lure.
I really liked how they used the field left to right, and just a lot of patience in it. And very few of those throws had a very high stall count either. It was nice, really good flow.
Yeah, I think if you are the Wild D lines now, I think you try and slow down their motion.
Yes.
Because every time the Wild have stopped easy flow,
Yeah.
they've gotten some sort of pressure.
It's true. It's true. Okay, we've got the Falcons with the pole up to up to the Wild's O line. Songer picking up the disc, up to Kircher on a nice strike with just around a laying out defender, around to Stanislawski. Stanislawski around to Bigham. Bigham back around to Stanislawski, but a little too far.
And that is a turn for the Utah Wild.
And we've got Munson picking up the disc.
Offense.
Nice little inside up to 42, Chu. Chu to Chen, and easy score. It was a nice break.
It's 36, Pinwen Wang out there, and the Wild just did not get the transition defense set there.
No.
Too easy.
I feel like on that overthrow, we had multiple people going for the disc to see if they could clean it up, and then they're kind of out of position, which, you know, they did the right thing. But that is hard when you're kind of looking around trying to stop the flow, and then you get left on an island. Nice, really nice transition offense though by the Falcons. That was smooth.
Falcons just putting a little bit of pressure, so as we watch the rest of this game, they were really starting to switch on those upline cuts.
Yes.
And the Wild have mostly done, I think, what we call the railroad tracks in Utah, which is to stop and come back.
Yeah.
And that has proven to be a pretty tough throw. I think if you're the offense, just cycle through and have a fill come in and see if you can get something moving.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I think it's hard too because you wind up for a zippier shot and then you have to throw it around with touch on it. And sometimes you just throw them a little too hard. Okay, Kircher up to Songer. Looks like we're in a vert stack. Songer's coming around for the Bernie. Playing a bit of a zone. Stanislawski and Aragon have now kind of dropped back to help out, getting into more of an H stack. We've got Stanislawski with a nice backhand blade up to Perquette. Perquette pumps off Bigham, who's open. Back around to
beautiful
Kircher.
Space throw from Stanislawski.
Oh, yes. Kircher to Songer. And Songer up to Bigham for a nice, easy score.
Solid hold right there.
I'd love to see it.
Corey Bigham with the score.
And that was really easy.
I know, it was really easy.
I assume Coach Aguilar went out there and said, run the good offense.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one before was not the one we talked about.
Here we see this beautiful give and go between Songer and Kircher. And then wide open Corey Bigham for the score.
Bigham is fast.
Bigham is fast. And Bigham also played with Mixtape at the World Club Championships last year, so she has a little bit of familiarity
Chemistry
with these
with
players.
them as well.
Chemistry with those players as well, apart from also being a returning player to the Wild this year.
Yeah, that is true.
Second-year Wild player.
Okay, we've got our D-line out. Atwell's going to throw the pole. She's got some massive poles.
All right, we got Carly Atwell with a pole for the Utah
Like I said.
Probably I will throw the pole over them Thar Mountains over there.
Them Thar Mountains.
Massive.
Oh, and also Atwell down on the mark. And let's see, swing over to 21. Chang upfield. Over to 24, and then over to 24, Hernandez Flowerman. Over to Mims. Caldwell with some nice defense on that around. Oh,
Stall called.
stall called.
By Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter with the stall. I would trust her. Oh, it's a little cold today.
The observer rules
no
stall. Smart. I think you should always send it to the observer. I think most of these end up being sub 7 seconds.
Yes, I agree. And it's not like there's a penalty for asking the observer too much.
Wild D-line doing a good job of moving the Falcons offense backwards.
Oh.
And
No! Caldwell tips the disc, but she's still able to pull it in. Was that number 17? Yes, Pugh.
On the Falcons.
And we've got Chang with the disc right now with a lefty. We've got Robbins under the disc and 13. Oh, no! Broom lays out for it, but can't quite bring it in.
strong help D there by Molly.
Yes, it was incredible. Okay, we've got Hunter picking up the disc now. The full field to go, just a little off, well, really right on the corner. She loves this situation. All the way around to Miller, and then Miller's got some options. forehand mark all the way up to Hrishnakovic. We got Hunter. Now back to back to Caldwell. And Caldwell throws it out the sideline.
That was good offense out of the end zone, and it just slipped away there.
Yeah.
But strong defensive pressure. Let's see if the Wild can keep it up.
Pugh's picking up the disc, so on the sideline with about 30 yards, or well, I guess 20 yards to the end zone on the 30. Likes the Atwell a little bit tighter on those off-disc handlers. Nice catch by 47 Schumacher, and a D. Got Hunter up to Hrishnakovic. Around to Miller. Miller to Atwell.
Big fan of just picking it up and going here, and now the Wild
Atwell to Miller. Miller
in
up to
flow.
up to Caldwell.
That was
And Caldwell to Robbins
there,
in stride.
There it is.
That was some nice D-line offense.
I like the running. I like the run and gun. I like picking it up and moving it.
Yes,
the
yes.
defense is on their back. The defense is on the back foot. The offense says, we just turned this disc over. We're kind of wandering around, and they're already playing. We got to get going.
It's true. It's true. Well, and also they did such a good job. I mean, how many times did they attack both sides of the field on that? You know, even if you can't get a big huck right away, if you can at least get that swing. Let's see this. So we've got Atwell up to Miller.
Miller, a little casual.
Yeah, a little casual with that little backhand, dad backhand.
Carly drops it in.
Yeah.
Kaylee drops it in. Kaylee and Carly, I got to get them together.
It's hard.
They're
It's
both
hard.
playing great. If you're a Kaylee or a Carly, you're playing great.
Miller with a lot of trust to Caldwell.
Did they play together in college?
Kaylee and Kendra?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Oh.
They played for a couple of years together. In fact, one of the years that they played, it was really one of the first years that BYU women's team got a lot of recognition. And so
that was the year they entered the top 10. They were extremely talented.
Yeah. Okay,
a side
58 up to
stack
32.
here.
Got a side stack. And fortunately, straight into Ellie's shortle.
That is a bummer. And now they're
Terpstra
already in
to
motion.
Hrishnakovic. Pumps off Sailor Ong around to Lily Terpstra with a nice layout. And up to Shelke. Looks like a timeout has been called. This is Tanya's favorite. She loves to take the D-line off when they're playing offense.
They were playing really well there.
They were playing really well.
But I like this timeout here. This is a really good spot for
Me too,
one.
me
Inside the 50.
Yes,
You're looking at 30, 40 yards to go to get a break.
Yeah. And you wonder if Terpstra's feeling a little bit bad that she laid out so well for that. Now doesn't get the reward of continuing to play. O-line's coming on.
Yeah, and while we're in this timeout, these are the current Western Ultimate League standings updated with today's earlier game. The Wild are looking to put some daylight with a win or with 2 wins this weekend between them and the Alpenglow and the Onyx. And the Falcons are hoping to get a win, to go 1-1 this weekend, which would then put a win in game for them against the Sidewinders later in the season. I think if you're LA Astra, it is a tough scene out there. And
must win.
Yeah.
Must win tomorrow for them, which they'll play Wild tomorrow.
Yes, they lost 19-12 in the opener tonight, which I hope you watched. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. These games get more views than the channel has subscribers. So I know some of you out there have not subscribed.
Just touch the button.
Hit that reminder. You'll be reminded of all the games.
Songer with the disc. High stall count. And to a D by number 32 that was Chu with a really nice read on that play. We've got 6 minutes left on this quarter, so still a lot of game to play on this quarter with a nice big hug all the way up to Stepanitis and Williams with the D.
Not sure that's the person you want to test in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Cass Williams is a great deep receiver, a strong deep defender, and a very tall person.
Yes, and jumpy, tall and jumpy.
Famously tall.
Oh, we've got a call. Maybe a foul. Or maybe the disc was not.
Looks like an uncontested foul on the contact there.
And get to be a high stall count. Oh, a nice around to Bigham, and she pulls it in. A Bigham around to Kircher. Kircher up to Stanislawski.
Going with the
Stanislawski around to Perquette.
great space on that throw. Again, going with the force. You can hear the Falcons yelling about the force middle.
Yes. We've got Songer with a nice around to Williams. Williams up to Kircher, and we've got Stoller going deep, but looks like she's going to holster and get it up to Songer. And now we've really got and to Stoller. What a nice blade to Stoller.
A beautiful throw to space with enough air under it that Stoller could adjust to it.
Oh yeah, Stoller's she can read the disc so well and also just finds space so well. And it's pretty fun to watch. Seasoned vet.
Mankoff for the Falcons gets a hand on Williams' throw,
yes,
but it drops straight to Kircher, and then the Wild are off to the races.
Yes.
This is a teardrop of a blade throw.
Yes, it was amazing.
And the Wild look energized right now, and I think the Falcons playing at altitude with, it looks like they've got about 18 to 20 players.
Yeah, it's a small roster.
This is probably a tough quarter for them.
Yes, yes.
Feeling a little bit of that elevation in those legs.
And Stoller with 3 goals. She scored a third of our points, and Perquette scored another 3. So
they're
that's
having
pretty
themselves
fun.
some nights out here.
Yes, exactly. Oh, it is interesting with these games. Going back to having a small roster, I feel like each of these games feels like 2 club games. And so, even though it's 1 game, it's kind of like playing 2. So having a small roster, that is hard.
It's definitely very intense.
Okay, 13, Broom with the disc. Broom around to Chang, and Chang back to Pugh.
Wild out in the zone again.
Yep, 3-3-1. We've got Chu with the disc, or Chang with the disc again.
So we've got Chang, Broom, and Pugh back behind the disc.
Pugh with the
right
disc,
here.
still more of a sag or a wall from Wild. Pugh with the disc. All the way around to Broom again, and then back. Just a lot of handlers just kind of stepping it up. And Shea Wallen with the layout, but barely misses it. 33.
Wild transitioning into match here.
In a row. Gonna tighten up. Hunter picks up a switch. Got it around all the way to 47.
Gina
Schumacher to Pugh. Pugh up to a sliding.
Broom.
Broom, yes. Broom up to Pugh again. And nice switch by Atwell.
Goal-saving switch by Atwell.
Oh, what a grab! Molly Robbins with the layout, but Hernandez Flowerman still pulls it in.
Great catch in traffic
That was
there
an
by
incredible
Hernandez
catch.
Flowerman. Good pressure by the Wild, but even better offense by the Falcons,
Yes,
taking
yes.
what the defense gave them and then running a very quick
Patient
end zone.
and- yes.
Quick,
Yes.
quick moving,
Yes.
but decision making very patient.
Yes,
I
yes,
should say.
yes. Flowerman has had a big game.
Here's a shot. Schumacher to a open Flowerman for a goal. Her first goal. Here's Flowerman's second goal.
Second goal.
She's had a big game. She's had a big game tonight. She's been impactful downfield cutter,
Assist.
catching multiple goals in traffic.
That's half of their points she has had something to do with, which is pretty incredible.
Big fan of how she's playing, and her and Robin's talking it out here.
But it looks like they're all having a great time.
I know. 3 goals on no turns. That's a strong,
That's pretty incredible.
strong scoreline. So Wild are up 10-8 with about 3.5 left.
Oh,
in the
Kircher to
second.
Aragon, bobbled disc, but she holds on to it. Songer back around to Aragon. Aragon to Perquette. Perquette all the way up to Cogburn.
Cogburn making a continued cut off the back of the stack there. Big fan of that.
Yes. Oh, and a D by 98, Luke. She read that really well. Okay, so we've got Munson picking up the disc. Gets to walk it upfield a little bit.
Wild
Trapped on the
immediately
forehand sideline.
Yeah, the Wild immediately locked down on sideline.
Yeah.
a nice space opening break.
Yep, all the way up to Stepanidis. Stepanidis up to Loop. Oh, and around. Another around all the way to 29. Stepanidis again. To Chang. Chang to Munson. To Chang. And 29 with the disc again, Stepanidis.
Cogburn
She's all over
almost with a D there.
Yes.
High stall, break throw.
And let's see, 30 is Sumida. Gets the disc.
Knocking on the doorstep here, the Falcons. Wild playing really strong D and gets the turnover with strong end zone D. That's great. That's what your offense wants to see.
Seriously, that was nice.
Like to see them be a little more patient. Like to see the Wild maybe have some cuts come from the back here. It's clear that the Falcons D line has figured out the switching.
Yeah. Cogburn with the throw up to Songer. Songer thinks about the huck, takes the under up to Aragon. Aragon has a streaking Perquette, but looks it off. Hits the around to Kircher, and Kircher's able to reel it in after she bobbles
Great
it.
save.
Back around to Cogburn. Cogburn up to Songer. Around to Kircher. Oh, and another D. By 98 again, Loop twice.
2 Ds on this point for Loop.
Yes.
Sam Luke with a D.
Really nice IO. High up to Sumida. 36. Wang with the disc. Back to Sumida again. And a timeout is called. Timeout by the Falcons. Everybody's looking a little tired. We've got hands on knees, hands on hips.
45 seconds left in this half, I can see the Falcons wanting to get this break. I don't know if this plays in their favor. Putting a fresh Wild D-line out on the field.
Yeah, that's true.
Might not be what you're looking for.
Yeah, because it has been a pretty long point. So we'll see. Hopefully the D-line can come out. I predict that they come out in some sort of zone or sag.
Yep.
Stop the initial pull play. Kind of go from there.
Yeah, with a 2-point lead right now, you'd hope that the Wild can still get a block and a score to get a goal going into half. But they're pushing for at least a 2-goal lead into the half.
Yes.
Great work on that by Sam Loop, number 98, getting multiple blocks to give the Falcons this break opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be good too. The Wild will receive out of half. So if they can get this point, that puts them up 3. If not, 2. I mean, and if Falcons can score this point, which is really a must score, they'll be within 1, which would be huge.
Yeah, I think if you're the Falcons, you want to stay within striking distance in this third quarter.
Looks like they're going straight to a person defense and brought out their personnel that are good at person defense. So we've got 17 picking up the disc. Pugh, we've seen her a lot.
You can see the Wild are putting a bit of a bracket on the first dump. You can see number 4 in frame, but number 12 Shelke is out of frame.
Yes. Oh, and a layout by Wallen, but not quite able to get it.
Deeply contested
Pugh with the disc again.
Schumacher.
Oh, what a break. That was incredible. Just some really nice give and go action. They really stayed ahead of the play. Looked like Terpstra got tripped up a little bit, and so then they had a wide open receiver with those give and goes. That was clutch for them.
You can see this great catch by Schumacher against the contact, and then this flow, this offensive flow that's really pretty. What is that? Chang puts Terpstra on the ground with a cut, and from there it's just smooth sailing to the end zone.
Yeah. That was incredible. Well, but we've got 28 seconds left now. They scored quick. So Wild still has another chance to score, go up 2 points going into half, which is huge. I mean, if I were them, I'd make sure this point took 30 seconds, but also that I score it.
Yep. I think the first goal is to score, and the second goal is to hopefully
score in 29 seconds.
take 29 seconds exactly. And if you're the Falcons, I think don't come down in a zone or anything. Just just try and get a quick turn.
Okay, we got Songer picking up.
Well, Falcons come down in zone.
Yeah,
interesting. So I think if you're the Wild, you just need to possess.
Yes, yes. Take as much time as you need to. Around to Kircher. Kircher up to Perkett. Kind of ahead of the zone. Through the zone, back to Stanislavski. Up to Kircher. Kircher to Williams. She's tall.
She's still tall.
No, look, I don't think there's a stall count on her. Okay, around to Stanislavski, to Kircher.
And the half has expired, so this will be the last possession of the
To
second
Songer.
quarter.
A lot of defenders headed towards Perkett. Back to Stoller, up to Bigham. Stoller streaks, takes 2 defenders with her. Back up to Kircher. And there's a streaking Stanislavski, and we get the score.
That's the end. That's the That's a way to end that second quarter.
Yes,
a little
exactly.
bit of a misstep, but that final score, taking a 2-goal lead, 3-goal, 2-goal, 2-goal,
2-goal lead.
Score is 11-9.
And we'll be headed to half soon. Wild receives out of half. So if you are the Falcons, what adjustments are you going to make?
I think you use those timeouts.
Yes.
When you get inside, when you get inside the 20, use the timeouts to try and get the breaks, and also continue to throw those force middles, those switches on the up lines and the zones to try and slow down the offensive motion, that handler motion of the Wild.
Perfect. Well, we are headed to our break. Here in a little bit, we will get to hear from one of the winners of the high school tournament, the Lone Peak invite today. She'll be up after we see a few ads, and thank you for joining us.
It's halftime. Wild up 11-9 over San Francisco.
Own a Utah vacation rental? Vacasa is your ultimate partner. Head to vacasa.com to see how Vacasa keeps your vacation home booked, cared for, and earning to its highest potential. We are thrilled to announce the official brewery of Utah Wild for 2023, WUL Brewing. You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at this local brew pub. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer make this a great home for our watch parties and after parties. Be wilder and head out over to the WUL Brewing right after this game for Wild's official after party. This venue is 21+. We'd like to highlight one of Utah Wild's sponsors, Strive and Uplift. Strive and Uplift provides lifting and running programming to Wild athletes. Through their values of accessibility, support, growth, and service, Strive and Uplift is passionate about providing high-quality movement education and sports performance guidance in a supportive environment. Through cultivating community spaces for movement and connection, Strive and Uplift helps individuals of all abilities discover how to move confidently in their bodies. To learn more, visit striveanduplift.com. A huge thank you for being a sponsor of the Utah Wild. We'd like to shout out 3 of Utah Wild sponsors: Fort One at Physical Midvale, Handy and Handy Attorneys at Law, and We Win Injury Law. Their support of women and non-binary athletes helps make this season possible. For more information on these organizations, visit www.utahwildultimate.org/sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring the Utah Wild.
times, but I come back around, and I don't know why. Shouldn't let you get under my skin. I swore I'd never fall for you, not again. I can't let it go, baby.
I'll ask you what you love about, like... Hi, I'm Natalie Merrill, and this is...
Maddie Seedall.
And we are lucky to have her here. She just won the Lone Peak Invitational with Green Canyon High School. What can you tell us about winning?
It was such a fun experience. Being with the girls, my teammates, I've loved every chance. I'm so excited for what this season will bring, and heading to nationals, I'm so excited for it. To see how much we'll improve until then. And yeah.
That's awesome. So has Green Canyon been to nationals before?
They have not. Last year, I think we were invited, but we chose to. We had no seniors, and we chose to just develop the team more for this year.
And then be more ready for nationals this year. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about, like, what does it mean to you to have a pro women's team here in Utah?
I just think it's so cool. Just the experience and, like, the friendships that you get from the girls. It's just so fun. And they're all there for you. Like, I made so many friendships that in Ultimate and also outside of Ultimate. And it's so fun, like, all the different schools.
Yes.
Not just my school.
Yeah. That is what's really neat about Ultimate. So if you could pick a favorite Wild player, who would it be?
I would probably say Kendra Miller.
Always
Maddie.
Kendra.
Yeah, I played for them
Your
for
coaches.
YCC. So, yeah.
They are both excellent people.
Oh, yeah.
And really good at Ultimate as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I was going to ask you something else. Let me think. Oh, so what was the score of the final game, and who did you guys play?
So we played Lone Peak, and the score was 13-1. So
wow.
we took them to half 7-0, and then they were able to score one. But it was so fun.
And did you let them score one, or?
We can say that we did.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's what happened.
So you guys are nice people. That's really
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
up here
absolutely.
and talking
Thank
to
you.
us about this. Congratulations on your big win
Thank
and
you.
nationals.
Oh yeah.
That's
I'm excited.
awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. So we're going to head back to our break and back to our halftime show. Thanks for coming up
Thank you.
again.
Okay, am I good?
Own a Utah vacation rental? Vacasa is your ultimate partner. Head to vacasa.com to see how Vacasa keeps your vacation home booked, cared for, and earning to its highest potential. We are thrilled to announce the official brewery of Utah Wild for 2023, WUL Brewing. You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at this local brew pub. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer make this a great home for our watch parties and after parties. Be wilder and head out over to WUL Brewing right after this game for Wild's official after party. This venue is 21+. We'd like to highlight one of Utah Wild's sponsors, Strive and Uplift. Strive and Uplift provides lifting and running programming to Wild athletes. With their values of accessibility, support, growth, and service, Strive and Uplift is passionate about providing high-quality movement education and sports performance guidance in a supportive environment. Through cultivating community spaces for movement and connection, Strive and Uplift helps individuals of all abilities discover how to move confidently in their bodies. To learn more, visit striveanduplift.com. A huge thank you for being a sponsor of the Utah Wild. We'd like to shout out 3 of Utah Wild sponsors: Short One at Physical Midvale, Handy and Handy Attorneys at Law, and We Win Injury Law. Their support of women and non-binary athletes helps make this season possible. For more information on these organizations, visit www.utahwildultimate.org/sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring the Utah Wild.
All right, Frisbee fans, welcome back to the second half of tonight's titanic clash between the Utah Wild and San Francisco Falcons. We're pulling up the first half stats here, and the Wild are up 11-9 with 7 holds, 5 clean holds. Falcons a slight edge in clean holds department, but with more total turnovers, and the Wild with more breaks.
Which is interesting.
On fewer break chances.
Yeah, fewer break chances. I mean, so they're at 75% right now on their breaks, on their break percentage, which is pretty incredible. So definitely better than when they played last. So that's really good.
Yeah, I think a strong first half for the Wild, and now you're looking for a strong second half.
Yes.
And for San Francisco, this is a big third quarter at this altitude and at this temperature. So I think we're going to see some movement here. This is going to make or break, I think, the game for both teams.
I agree. The previous game when LA was playing, I felt like you could tell that they started to get a little bit tired, and I'm sure, I mean, the elevation is much higher here than it is in California, so it'll be interesting to see if it affects the Falcons, especially like we said, they've got a pretty small roster, so they may get tired.
Yeah, I think we're at about 4,200 feet, and I think the LA is about 50 feet above sea level.
What's San Francisco, though? 100 feet?
100 feet up here.
Yeah,
if you're on the water, 0.
Oh.
All right, the Wild on offense to start.
Yep, we've got Aragon up to Songer. And Songer looking at that hug, but doesn't take it. Instead, swings it around to Kircher.
Had that great power position there.
Wilder looking a little bit wild. We get it up to Cogburn. Cogburn to Bigham. Bigham back to Songer. Around to Bigham. Pumps off Aragon and overthrows Kircher. We've got number 2, Munson, picking up the disc. Taking a little and just an overthrow. Looks like a stall count got a little high. Falcons took a minute, took a little too long to get organized.
Good pressure by the Wild
yes,
there to get the disc back.
It was really good pressure. So we've got Kircher picking up the disc, and we've got Songer headed around all the way up to Aragon, or around to Aragon, back up to Kircher. Around to Aragon, up to Cogburn. Cogburn around to Aragon, and she jumps it in. What do they say? Yep, observers say it's in.
That is a goal.
Nice footwork.
Nice footwork by Aragon. The Wild get the goal. Not without a little bump in the road there.
It's
but
true.
It's 12-9 Utah coming out of of halftime.
I feel like everybody came out with a lot of energy, so things for both teams I feel like looked a little bit wild, which sometimes happens when you come out of half and you're all pumped and got the around up to Cogburn.
Break throw by Aragon and follows the throw for an easy goal.
Oh, really nice. O-line's coming offward. D-line's going back on. Looks like Atwell will throw our pole. And we've got the O-line for the Falcons coming out.
Looks like,
yeah, I say maybe a few new people out there.
Looks like Meru's back out there,
Yeah.
which is a good sign after that collision earlier.
Yeah. And here goes Atwell. Atwell's got a lot of fans here. I don't know if you can hear him chanting.
A huge rip coming back just in bounds.
Broom picks up the discs, gets it over to Chang. Chang up to Pugh. Oh, Scuba over the top. Up to Schumacher. Back to Chang and Pugh. Just some give and go action. We've got a little bit of a sag here. Schumacher with the disc. Back to Chang.
Well, poaching a lot, leaving someone completely in the deep space the whole time.
And let's see. Oh, nice catch by Chang. Way to reel it in. Leaving the middle probably a little too open by Wild, and we've got a nice huck over the top, but Molly Robbins may have a play on it. Oh, nice run down by Moreau.
And that was a score for the
And a nice
Falcons.
huck. That was, I mean, could she have placed it in a spot that was
I mean, if that floats a little bit more, it's a D.
It's true.
And I think if you're the Wild, you take that. You look at this.
Sure.
You look at this throw from Broom, just put right to where the defense can't get to it, and a great catch by Meru with the defender coming on. In that situation, if you're the Wild, you generate a lot of pressure and with the poach and got them to slow down.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I think you take that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd like Wild to bring their player a little more aggressively in the middle. I mean, that's just where they got their shots, but and it is nice. I feel like in a zone, you always kind of feel it out the first point, see how they like to break the zone, and then you can kind of go from there and make your adjustments. It's a nice big pull by 42. And we're up to Songer. Looks to be a vert stack again. Songer back to Kircher. Kircher to Songer. Songer to Williams. Williams around to Perquette. Perquette around to Stanislavski, but just a little too bladey.
A little speculative there.
Falcons now on offense.
So we've got, the Falcons. Chu with the disc up to Wang. Oh, and a little too far.
Going to make the Wild's O-line work the full 70
The
here.
full field. What if the Wild called a timeout and had the D-line come on? Never seen that before.
We'll see how long this point. We'll see how long this point goes.
Yep, exactly.
The Wild are scoring, but these holds are not clean, and I'd like to see them get just a touch cleaner.
Let's make it a little bit easier. Stanislavski with the disc to a streaking Perquette. Oh, and a nice D by Chang.
That was a help D too.
Yeah, that was incredible. Perquette's fired up now. And pretty high stall, nice IO all the way around. Oh, Songer with the layout. I don't know if she got it, but it did get Munson to drop the disc though. Kircher's gonna pick up. Looks like they're going back to a vert stack. Around to Perquette. Perquette to Songer, nice inside. Back to Perquette. Oh, and Songer gets it again.
With a
Nice
big,
layout,
beautiful
D.
layout.
Doesn't quite get it. Oh, and then another D.
Songer's going to call injury there. The wind got out
I
of her,
bet.
out of her sail.
That was a big layout.
The Wild
Caldwell
are
coming in.
struggling to generate motion with those up lines. They're getting a little bit of movement, but it doesn't seem to be continuing.
Yes,
I think I'd like to see the offense look a little more off the back of the stack, or
Yeah,
even go side stack or horizontal.
Yeah, I agree.
They've run the exact same initiating play every single time.
Yes.
And San Francisco is definitely starting to key on it.
Yes, it's true. Which is what happened when they played against Colorado. They went up quite a few points against Colorado, but then I think Colorado kind of figured out what they were doing and then made it really difficult for them. And so hopefully we can, hopefully the Wild can have more adjustments made this time. Caldwell with a nice mark, upfield, up to 21. 21 with a big huck. Just sitting there pretty, but a little too far for 16 Chang.
I think that's something. If you're not at altitude, I think that sits.
Oh, a little too far for
unforced
Stanislavski.
error. These are tough scene, right? Tough sledding right now for this O-line.
So short field turn. They've got about 20 yards to go. Caldwell on the mark with a hard no around mark. And Perquette with the D, get one of those back. Looks like maybe a play or a call.
I think there's going to be a foul called here. Perquette did come into her blind side for the block, but it looks like she's saying she had the disc. She made contact with the disc first.
I agree. I felt like Perquette was there very early, but I can also see what is it 16? No, what 3? What? No.
Munson.
Oh my goodness. Small numbers from back here.
Yeah, I know. We don't have our opera glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's the
Okay, let's get a
replay.
replay.
And Mac gets the disc easily. So Perquette gets the disc easily first.
Yeah.
And from that angle, way safer. Looks much safer
Yeah.
than what it looked like from our angle.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
looks like we have no foul here.
Okay, we've got Kircher with the disc. Then around to Stanislavski.
Great cut by Perquette
Yeah,
to
great
get this
cut by
motion.
Perquette with a nice forehand around. Up to Stoller. Looks like a miscue on the throw. Caldwell wasn't sure if she was the receiver, and
maybe a
and
high
it was
stall
behind her.
throw
Yeah,
as well.
I agree. And looks like a timeout is called by the Falcons, which is a good choice because this is a must break.
Yeah, I think with this time, we're about 5:30 left in the quarter. It's been a long point. You want to make sure you get the most value out of it.
Yeah,
but if you're the Wild, I think you'd much rather prefer to get your fresh, high energy D-line out there.
I agree. Looks like Caldwell will stay. She had subbed in for Songer, so just has played for a little bit. Let's talk Songer. So Songer has been a huge impact player. Let's look at some of these plays.
I mean, she's been all around the disc, and she's been throwing a lot of assists tonight, but also touching the disc pretty much every other.
Yes.
Huge part of the offense as a thrower, and then as a defender, she's working really hard to get the disc back on these turnovers.
I feel like she's had quite a few saves like this one as well. Just an incredible player. And also, she's been getting open, which really relieves a lot of pressure on the O-line when you have somebody that's getting open easily. And so you always know that you can look up and they'll be there. Okay, so D-line is on for the Falcons. Falcons Pugh with the disc. Up to Chang. Nice tight defense. Oh, but a little too poachy, and they score the break.
Hard to tell.
Takes us to 12-11.
It looks like that was Sally Mims just left fully uncovered there. It's a 12-11 Utah lead. If you're the Falcons, you got to be feeling good about this. Just a bit of a bummer there on the blown switch.
Yeah, that is hard. This is, I feel like, this point of the game, with almost all of the games that I've seen, it's like you really start to feel, kind of the energy of the game, and what team now can keep their energy high, can, really continue to get things going. What is fun for Wild is that this is a home game, so they've got the crowd to kind of help them, but also these games are long. It's hard to stay focused and in it this long, and so hopefully we can see both teams still keep up the intensity. Got the O-line receiving again. Aragon up to Songer. Songer's back on the field, which is great.
And there's ups and downs in these games too,
yes,
which is part of it. The Falcons are forcing into the throw, so if wherever the thrower catches it, they're forcing back towards the other direction to really shut down those up lines.
Yeah.
That was a great little pivot and move from Corey Bigham.
Bigham around to Kircher. Kircher around to Stanislavski. Up to Songer. Getting back in a vert. Up to Bigham. Bigham to Burkett. And that was incredible. That was a nice clean hold. I feel like they really adjusted to the defense.
Easy offense there.
Yeah.
You could see as soon as the Wild started engaging those downfield cutters, it opened up.
No, that was good. That was really good.
It's a highlight point for number 38, Corey Bigham as well.
Yes.
All over the place, hard to stop.
Yeah.
We see this is a nice little inside to Bigham, who makes the assist look very easy.
Yes.
Again, we see Kat Songer deeply involved as well too. She's been all over the field tonight.
Yeah.
And just like that, the vibes are
vibe is good again. Exactly. Here we go. Okay, coach is coming off the field, and we've got the D-line out here.
It's like the same offensive line with no substitutions for the Falcons once again.
Big pull from Carly. Oh, we're going for a roller pull. Roller pull that gets them over to the sideline. Oh, looked like we were sending down some rushers.
Trying to break up that quick motion.
Exactly. Got Ellie, and then let's see, 21 Chang with the disc.
Great
got
pressure
nice
by
defense.
Ong.
47 Schumacher with a big hook. Can Carrie Shelke get the D? Nice D by Shelke.
And another coverage sack. Good pressure on the resets, forcing Schumacher to put up that hook and giving the Wild a chance for a break here.
Hunter to pick up the disc. We've got Shelke as her reset. Looks like they're in a vert stack.
I really like to see the Wild just sort of run and gun a little more.
Yes, it's
Strong
true.
catch in traffic by Wallen.
Yep, Wallen back to Hunter. Hunter up to Ong, and she gets a hand on it, but can't quite pull it in. They're teammates at BYU. Another huck. Can Robbins and Atwell get to it? Robbins with another D. She's had a game. She's
Molly
had a
Robbins
game.
is a really high-level defender who's played all over the world. Actually, you can see her wind that up. You can see her pull her hand back.
Tucks it.
I really like to see the Wild just try and move as quickly as possible on these because it feels like they are at their best when there's some level of quick motion.
Shucky
Catch
with a
right,
really
Shucky
nice
in traffic.
catch in traffic. Over to Shortle.
We could use a little help here.
Shortle back to Shucky again. Back to Shortle. Up to Robbins.
Wide open Robbins.
Oh, and a
little
miscommunication.
Miscommunication gives the disc back.
Utah Wild back on defense.
Got 21, Chang with the disc. Over to Broom. Broom back to Pugh. Pugh with a nice big under. Oh, and just a little overthrow. Broom lays out for it, but can't quite reel it in.
I was about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if I had a
timeout?
timeout here. The Wild players were dragging a little bit there. And you can see off your screen Robbins is bent over, breathing heavy.
I've never seen her tired.
Like you said earlier, these games are tough. There's a lot of energy going on, and when these points get long, I think it's hard to have that intensity and that energy up for the whole, whole possession.
Exactly.
You know, this is a good time to talk about Ultimate. I love my Googling, you know. I was researching, and there's some evidence out there that, you know, most Ultimate points are only going to be about 25 to 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So you really train for that intensive energy.
Yes,
and when they extend beyond that, especially in these WUL settings, you know, it starts to really push the boundaries of your training. And you can start to see these players, these high-level players, get tired.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a big field. It's a lot bigger than you think, especially when you get out there, or when you go from playing 3v3 up to full field and you realize that you have not trained.
Exactly, and that's a real benefit, I think, to players on San Francisco and places like San Diego, Los Angeles, and also Arizona, is that they get to play year-round.
Yes, outside.
Yes. When we were here on March 18th for our first home game, I was noting with our co-commentator Leah Smith that this was the first time probably both Colorado and Utah had played outside.
Played outside, exactly, which is a big deal.
For those of you who are not Utah residents, it did snow here.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't stick, but it snowed this week.
Oh yeah.
All right, the Wild are back in with it.
Oh,
Brooke
Stanislawski.
her player and lets a huge
big
huck
Can
off.
Stoller get it? No. Just a little short on the throw. So O-line is back on defense. And we've got, we've got Chu with the disc right now. Up to Chen. Chen with a big huck. Oh, nice huck. To 26, Mankoff.
Mankoff with a catch in traffic there.
Win. And now, let's see, we've got knocking on the doorstep. And we've got Chu around, back to Chu. Oh, and that was a nice break. Was that a break or was it a
at the end of
hold?
the day, that's an offensive hold for the Falcons.
For the Falcons.
There was a timeout, remember?
Yes, okay,
so
okay.
with a minute left, the Utah's up 13-12, but they're on script. That's what you expected. That's still something you'd like to get there.
Yeah. That was really nice.
But if you're the Wild, you just deep breath on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I think this end zone offense here, the give and goes with the handlers, very nicely done. That's a goal for Jacqueline Watoka out of the University of Portland, so a D3 player.
Oh.
Shout out to my D3 players.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so O-line stays on. D-line looks like the Falcons D-line doesn't change too much.
Nope, it's looking like the same folks that just played the last point.
Yeah. Nice big pull. Down to the O-line. Kircher to Songer. Songer to Aragon. Back to Songer. Around to Aragon. To Burkett. To Aragon. Nice switches by the Falcons. Up to Paige Kircher.
Paige was thinking about a huck there,
Yep,
but it
she
shut off
was.
very quickly.
And Songer back with the disc. Songer up to Bigham.
Bigham playing a great work tonight as the reset valve.
Oh, Bigham to Cogburn, Cogburn to Songer.
They've played together before.
Yeah, seriously. Sliding catch by Songer. She's hit the deck a lot this game.
Yes. Yeah, there's another game. Take
Yeah,
care
exactly.
of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
And that offense looked very clean,
It
very
did.
relaxed.
It did.
And Wild take a 14-12 lead. Look at this. You can see they've played together. Cogburn knows where to put that shot,
It's
and
true.
the defender has no chance for it. 14-12 Wild lead with 19 seconds left in the third.
So it'd be nice. I mean, obviously it's always nice to score, but with 19 seconds left, I'm sure that Falcons are looking to score quickly, maybe not too quickly, and bring it within one, because then they receive. And so if they score and get to 13, they then have a chance to receive and tie it coming into the fourth quarter.
The Wild are playing a full 2-for-1 here.
Yeah.
This is really fascinating. They've pulled it straight out of bounds. It looks like they are trying to kill the clock here and make
Yeah,
it.
so the clock won't start until they pick up the disc. Oh.
The clock is running on the scoreboard, so I don't really know this end of quarter situation.
Yeah,
But the
and
Wild
it's
are
running.
clearly trying to potentially steal a quick turnover, and they do.
So now,
So the clock was running in the
Yes.
stadium, but what's going on here is
I think
we are all confused. 100% of us
the
are
observers
confused.
need to
The
figure out if
observers
there
are
is
talking.
still time on the clock left.
Coach Tanya is yelling at the observers. Looks like
Well, because the clock shouldn't have started until they picked up the disc, until the disc gets checked in, correct?
I believe that's the case. I must confess,
I know. Now
viewers
I'm
at
not
home,
sure.
I am confused. We are working here.
But I think they're going to work it out.
She can start the stall count after those 20 seconds if she's at the correct spot. So that she start if the defender's in the correct spot.
Tanya's nodding her head.
I counted off the 20 seconds from when it rolled out of bounds.
Oh, so they had 20 seconds to get the disc in play
From the correct spot.
from the correct spot. And so she must not have come to the correct spot.
So the time should have stopped when the disc rolled over the edge there. I was watching the disc, so I don't know how much was left in the line.
Okay, so time should have stopped when the disc rolled over the edge.
Okay, so we've got a situation where there should be time. There should have been time on the clock, and potentially they would have had to check the disc in immediately. But now the question is whether or not the
Does the
20-second
turnover count?
pre-stall.
Yeah.
I would have to think that turnover counts.
Is still a turnover? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yep, so 19 seconds.
So you can see the disc
Cool.
was rolled out at
Starts
the
rolling.
5-yard line.
But then, so technically they had 20 seconds to pick it up and come back. The clock started at 19.
And Lily Terpstra is out there, and now they switch. Okay, Tanya knows the rule, so someone is there. So now this person is here.
Yep. So they did not pick up the disc within 20 seconds.
They did not pick up the disc within 20 seconds, but it was.
Yes.
I think the big question here is, was someone actively marking?
Yes.
However, they throw it out the back, and it
Yeah.
looks like the observers have ruled it is a turnover.
Turnover, but that we still have 16 seconds left on the clock. But with the WUL, you get to continue play until the end of a possession. So we have an indefinite amount of time to score, but 16 seconds left on the clock. So if we turn it within 16 seconds, then they would get another shot at scoring.
And it looks like now Coach Dariani is talking to the observer as well on the far sideline.
Yeah.
And if I were the Falcons, I think what they're asking for is that it shouldn't have been they shouldn't have been so pressed with the stall count. But it's hard for me to see a situation where an observer would say, we're going to give you back.
Yes, exactly. The
I think
disc.
this
Yeah,
is
because
the,
you threw
the
it
thing
anyway.
Yes, exactly.
It's like when you call a fast count, but you turned it. Like,
instead of adjudicating the stall, it's really, I don't know where to interpret the continuation.
yeah.
This is fun. This is I think this is
yeah.
pushing the rule set.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, Coach Tanya knew what she was doing here.
Which she does love to know this kind of stuff.
And now we're going to have it again here.
Oh, no.
Again, pro move by Lily Terpstra, not giving the disc up. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
You know.
And also, we're gonna ice the throwers.
Yes. All
Maybe
right.
that's the real plan.
See if I don't know if we can listen into this observer conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're. I don't know what you think would happen here, because it definitely took about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But you could see multiple people marking. So I think was the question
does the
about
stall?
the rule.
Yeah. So does the stall restart every time there's a new person marking?
Exactly. And then should the San Francisco player have discussed the stall, or
called a timeout?
or in this situation,
You know.
or called timeout,
Yeah.
or in this situation, would it be best to say we'll put it back on this line? But then that sort of undoes the work the Wild
Yes,
did.
exactly. Because the whole point was to get to this situation. Like,
Exactly.
That's why the Wild did that pull. Which, I mean, that pull was incredible that it rolled, but then it rolled so far back.
Yes,
That's
that they
what
had to
was
go get
unreal.
it.
Exactly. Like, they had to get it not just outside of their end zone, but like back into the Wild's end zone.
And I think
Just
regardless of
wanna
the outcome,
practice
you see
Utah has the disc.
Okay.
like Utah has the disc.
Utah has the disc.
Regardless of this outcome, I think this is a cool thing that the Wild are trying to do here, which is sort of push the rule set and figure out new ways at the end of quarter to ask
Utah Wild has the disc and will be on.
to ask the team to execute these situations that we don't normally see in ultimate situations.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which I think is very cool.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what's happening, very cool.
Okay, Lily with the disc, or Terpstra with the disc, over to Caldwell, back to Terpstra, around to,
That is Norris.
yep, Amy Norris, there we go. Up to Wallen, Wallen to Terpstra. The time has now run out, so the quarter will end at the possession, with this possession. So whether we score or turn it over, Caldwell runs it down, up to Hrishnakovic, up to Miller. Now we're within 30 yards, 20 yards. Oh, to traffic to Lily Terpstra. And to Wallen. What a break. I would say that's the most important break of the game.
So far, I think that's a critical break, and you could see Utah was prepared to play frisbee regardless of that discussion, and it didn't look like San Francisco was as much,
Yes.
which is a bummer.
Yes.
I will say that might be the strangest frisbee thing I've ever witnessed in person.
Yes. Maybe, I mean, have you ever played with people in costumes? That might be a little more
Okay, that
strange.
is true. I once played with a guy whose costume was a cookie. We'll talk about it later, but there's a great end to the third. Wild up 15-12 over San Francisco going into the fourth.
With nice clean, by the D-line, by the Wild D-line. Thanks for joining us in this third quarter. Like we said, we're Wild's up 15-12, and we will see you soon.
Own a Utah vacation rental? Vacasa is your ultimate partner. Head to vacasa.com to see how Vacasa keeps your vacation home booked, cared for, and earning to its highest potential. We are thrilled to announce the official brewery of Utah Wild for 2023, WUL Brewing. You can find us celebrating every Utah Wild game this year at this local brew pub. Their huge projector screen, great food menu, and award-winning beer make this a great home for our watch parties and after parties. Be wilder. and head on over to the WUL Brewing right after this game for Wild's official after party. This venue is 21 plus. We'd like to highlight one of Utah Wild's sponsors, Strive and Uplift. Strive and Uplift provides lifting and running programming to Wild athletes. With their values of accessibility, support, growth, and service, Strive and Uplift is passionate about providing high-quality movement education and sports performance guidance in a supportive environment. Through cultivating community spaces for movement and connection, Strive and Uplift helps individuals of all abilities discover how to move confidently in their bodies. To learn more, visit striveanduplift.com. A huge thank you for being a sponsor of the Utah Wild. We'd like to shout out 3 of Utah Wild sponsors, Kurt Lund at Physical Midvale, Handy and Handy Attorneys at Law, and We Win Injury Law. Their support of women and non-binary athletes helps make this season possible. For more information on these organizations, visit www.utahwildultimate.org/sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring the Utah Wild.
Welcome back to our Wild versus Falcons game. We have had quite the barn burner. So Wild is up 15-12. The game has been within 1 several times, and the energy is high. If you're the Falcons, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop Wild?
I think the defense of the Falcons has actually been pretty troublesome for the Wild.
Yes.
But they need their D-line to put in some of the break chances. As we
Yes.
saw coming out of the half, they were 3 for 8. I don't think they've gotten any better.
Yeah.
And if you are the Wild D-line, I think you're very happy with your conversion rate so far.
Yeah,
It's been really nice.
I agree.
So
Yep, D-line for Wild is starting out. Falcons are starting out on offense. Nice big pull from Atwell.
would have liked
Right
to
on the
see
sideline.
Tanya do the roll out of bounds thing again, just as a
just to
full
do.
troll. But there's another zone sort of jump look here.
Yeah.
Slow down the motion.
Back and forth between the Falcons handlers. We've got Broom, back to Pugh, Broom and Pugh kind of just going back and forth. Some really nice throws, nice fakes. Back up to Pugh. We've got Chang behind. Around to Pugh again. Then Pugh up to Lure. Big fake by 21. Chang. Chang to Pugh. Pugh to Chang.
The Wild defense just daring the Falcons to
Yes.
to take those consistent unders.
Yeah. Schumacher with the disc back around. Nice lefty high release by Chang. Back to Pugh. Oh, and a nice clean offense score. It's like 33 Maru.
Beautiful upside down throw to unlock that open continue to Maru.
Yeah, that was really nice.
It's the start you want for the Falcons. Now you put the
It's
D-line
true.
on and you say, go to work.
Yes,
Go to work.
yes. Well, and I haven't kept track. I don't know how many timeouts the Falcons have left this quarter, because do you get to that point where they get a break and then you put your O-line on immediately just to hopefully ensure that you get that break. But
I think if you've got the disc, in the attacking half with 40 yards or less to go, you call a timeout.
yeah. So far, I'm impressed with the Falcons' endurance. I don't feel like this elevation has been affecting them much. Some of those long points, I feel like it's hard for both players.
We will have to see how things look tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, Kircher to Songer, Songer to Stanislawski. Stanislawski around to Kircher, back to Stanislawski. Nice deep strike all the way up to Kircher, and Kircher deep to Songer. And she walks onto it. What a throw, what a play. I like that that Songer did something a little different. She's been doing give and go, back in the handler set, and then runs deep. So I bet her defender was not expecting that.
I don't have a lot of words because of how beautiful that was.
Yes,
to be honest, we're gonna look at
speechless.
Stanislawski throw a just incredible leading throw to space, putting Kircher in power position, and the wrong-footed defender with Songer going deep. too easy. That is the offense you're looking for if you're Utah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So clean.
And you see their consistency in the fourth quarter. They've seen all the stuff that that San Francisco has thrown at them, and they're still able to run the sets they want to run.
Yeah.
We talked about them getting out of it, going to a host stack, and nope, just work through it and figure out some adjustments.
Yeah. Okay, Wild with the pull. We've got Pugh picking up over to Chang.
Poaching again, willing to give up those easy resets to make the downfield much harder.
Caldwell with the baited D, but doesn't quite get there. Bails out to keep it safe.
Recovers quickly.
Pugh back up to Chang. Back to Pugh. Got some pass-offs. They're hesitant to put it past Molly Robbins, that's for sure.
San Francisco's offense stagnating a little bit here.
Up to 13. Broom back to Chang to Pugh. Oh, not quite in, on the doorstep. 23 with the disc, that's Mims. Still staying in a zone. The Wild is staying mostly in a zone. And 23 with the score, that's Mims.
And that is
Slowed them down definitely, but
didn't stop.
not a lot of chances at D's. Caldwell had that one that she went for, but not quite there.
There was a really tight inside. There was a really tight low shot, but generally good-looking offense, very patient. Patience, I think, for the Wild. Switch to something different.
Yes, it's true. Well, and I don't know if you saw this receiver. They might not be in the frame. There's a receiver that is beyond the camera. Yep, number 13 was even more open. I think she was trying to stay quiet so she didn't draw attention to herself. But also, look at the handlers.
Yep.
Okay, so O-line will receive again. It's 16-14.
9 minutes left here.
9 minutes left. Really nice pull. All the way up. It looks like Songer's going to pick up to Kircher. A little bit of a zone. Kircher gets it through to Aragon. Aragon up to Cogburn. Ahead of the plate, and then they dump it back. We've got Aragon around to Stanislavski. Stanislavski back around to Aragon. And around to Cogburn.
So they're definitely running some sort of zone.
Sag. 3-3-1. Really locking down the middle.
The Wild could do a better job of keeping some handlers back and not stranding anything.
Not stranding, Up to Kircher. Kircher to Aragon. Aragon with the huck. 2 defenders to Perquette. And Perquette's not able to get it.
That was a little too speculative by Aragon of a huck. However, San Francisco does have to work at the full 70.
It's true.
And the Wild has provided a lot of pressure, but you really just want to see better patience there.
Yeah, it's true.
This is a really good chance for the Falcons. This is where you want to be.
It's true.
You got your break, your block. Now you want to see if you can
Munson
finish it.
picking up the disc. Oh, and Perquette barely misses it. Mankoff with the disc, high and floaties. Cat Songer gets it.
That was foot blocked by Kircher. That was a great individual play.
Kircher around to Aragon. Aragon back to Kircher. Kircher to Perquette. And Perquette with the huck to Aragon, but Deed.
Another help shot. So they've each thrown a turnover, trying to hit each other deep. And I think you want to be a little more patient if you're Wild. Right?
That's true. Stepanitis with that D. We've got Munson coming back in. She'll pick it up and then bring it to that front corner.
Chapel Hill native, Stepanitis. Played her in a beach tournament. She killed my team. Very talented, deep player.
Back with the disc.
I think we're doing more of a flat flick, a little bit of a saggy. Make them work it through their handlers.
Again, a lot of pressure, a lot of struggle, and finds a bailout at a high stall.
At Big IO to 16. Number 29, Stepanitis with the disc again. Stanislawski. Oh, I thought I heard a whistle.
This does seem like about that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
and
no.
just an errant throw by Wynn.
And that is a turnover.
Okay, Kat Songer's going to pick up the disc.
Mac downfield making the calm down noises.
Yeah,
I think she has the right idea.
Yes.
She's the right idea here.
You take her seriously. She's got her game face on. Let's see, Kircher to Stanislawski. Stanislawski to Cogburn. Cogburn
Doing a lot of gesturing.
Yeah.
I love it because
big him with the disc.
she knows what's up.
Oh, and too far for Songer.
And
Just a
another
little too far.
turnover. Falcons with the disc again.
Got about
both-
5.5 left.
Both teams are moving a little slow, and honestly, long points are an advantage to Wild.
Yep, at this point, yes, exactly. At this point, you want to take as much time as possible.
That's true. Big huck. Got Cogburn on D, and Stepanitis not quite in.
Not in. Let's just say it was not in.
Cogburn with a big mark. Oh, and a timeout called that saves the possession. I'm pretty sure a timeout was called before that D, though.
San Francisco. Yep. I
Yeah.
think that's smart.
Very
Good
smart.
timeout call there.
Well, especially Stepanitis caught that, right on the end zone line. It's going to take a few seconds for anybody to even get down there. You're looking at, she had 2 seconds to throw it once she had receivers down there. So that was a great call.
AKA the Falcons.
So now, did they keep the same people on?
If you're the Wild, I think you take your offense off.
for sure.
Let them get a little rest.
It looks like Falcons may keep the same people, though.
All right, real quick, we'd like to shout out to one of Utah
I predicted
Wild's sponsors,
tight person
Burt London,
tight
physical
person
and
D-line
physical
coming
partner of
out.
The Utah Wild. Physical therapy and balance centers focus
Let's
on
take a look.
improving your quality.
So we've got
of
a
life
nice
by using
throw
holistic whole body
by
approach
Chang.
to connect your
Just a
diagnosis
huge
and
backhand
custom
hug.
plan
It's
of
tailing
care.
away from the receiver, but
Thanks to
Stepanitis
Burt
reads
Physical
it,
for
runs
providing
down,
Utah Wild
and is
athletes
actually.
with quick
Do you think she was
physical
in?
I think she was in.
therapy
I kind of
You
think
can
so,
meet
too.
Roll late,
wind rises,
water under the
get
bridge,
free
and then at a
and
high
care
stall,
of
she
the
throws
physical
this
team up near the end
for a
zone.
strong D, but the timeout's already been called by the time the disc leaves her hands.
Man, that was a close. Maybe her heel was on the line, which honestly the observer could see better than us. But if it was on the line, it was barely on the line. Okay, we've got a D line out. We've got Pugh picking up the disc. So it looks like they did sub some new people in.
All right,
Wow,
we
it's got a
the
full
Falcons
D-line
starting
out.
with the disc.
Oh, and around.
Great
Back to
pressure.
Pugh. Oh, with a hammer to a really open receiver.
Big
Oh.
hammer to
That's a break.
Deservedly spikes it.
Yeah,
Way to go,
that's a
number
break.
23 Mims.
It's a break for San Francisco, and
It is.
they're within one with 4.5 left.
the score.
Oh,
I love this pressure.
yeah, if you're the Wild, deep breath. Your offense just got to take a little bit of a breather,
Yeah.
and just close this one out.
Honestly, that was great defense, and honestly, I'm sure. That hammer over the top is if they wanted. I'm not sure they knew Pugh had that
Yep.
had that throw. That's a
Yep,
really
there it
nice
is. That's
hammer.
a nice hammer.
And big.
Floats at all, and Robbins gets a D. So again, good pressure considering that San Francisco had it on the end zone line.
Yeah.
Another two-goal night for Mims.
Yeah, I know.
playing,
2 goals, no turns. That's
He's
incredible.
been playing well.
And Mims is on the D line or O line.
Mims is the
Oh, okay.
pretty
big
strong
pull.
OD split
All
for
right,
both teams tonight.
that was
We've got our O line back on. Cassie's back on. We haven't seen her in a minute.
picked up by Utah Wild, who are
And let's see, Kircher with the disc. Looks to be Person up to Stanislawski.
Brooke, a trusty
Back
gal.
to Songer. Songer to Bigham. Bigham to Burkett. Back to Kircher. Kircher around to Stanislawski. Nice big throw up to Songer. Songer holsters up to Kircher. Pumps off Williams. Oh no! And Kircher throws it Blady to Songer. Songer can't quite reel it in. We've
The
got,
Nazis
there's
are
traffic.
turning
Yeah, you can see Kircher saw Songer, but didn't see the help defender.
Yes, exactly.
Falcons starting
Okay,
with
so
the
O-line's
disc.
back on D.
All offense now.
Got Munson with the disc over to.
The line on D is an all too familiar place.
Yes, exactly. Had a lot of that today. Got a miscues. There's an open player. Kircher with a nice mark. Looks like they're forcing middle.
Oh, and
We have a cramp.
injury.
Elevation.
Elevation. That is Vivian Chu right now.
Oh no.
The stoppage.
Okay, while we're talking about cramps, tell me more about the cookie suit.
Oh, the cookie suit. So it's that's right. The costumes we were talking about earlier is there's a tournament in Minnesota called Hollow Note on Halloween, and a friend. Our theme was Christmas, and a friend came as cookie. He was a cookie you leave out for Santa, and the cardboard was wide enough that it was over his knees and his elbows, so he couldn't really bend. So it's kind of half running,
Yes, exactly.
half shuffling everywhere.
The accuracy on your throws for them to get
Yes,
it would
yes.
be just incredible.
Real tight. So I think the best costumes when you're playing Ultimate are the ones that make you worse at playing.
Yes, exactly. That is
All
true.
right. Chu is laughing, so I think she's doing okay. But yeah,
also very cramping.
yeah, that
Very-
was a bit. We saw the cramp from up here, so definitely.
I think she tried to bend her leg and it just cramped up again. Oh, that's hard. We'll go ahead and take a quick break while we get this cramp figured out. Chu's able to make it off the field. We've got a couple new faces. Looks like Caldwell came in for Stoller. We've got Pugh, number 17, picking up the disc, and so Pugh came in for Chu, and we're back.
With Falcons on offense.
And let's see, back to Pugh. Pugh to the middle to Sumida. And up to 26, Mankoff, back to Pugh. Pugh up to Sumida again, or Mankoff again. Mankoff to Pugh. Got a high stall. Oh, and a nice IO.
Sumida
Yeah, Sumida really finding the space.
had him in the high stall situation there, got out of it.
Oh, and let's see, that's 16 Chang knocking on the doorstep. Oh, with a nice save.
Yeah, that was a duck. That saved by Mankoff
Yeah,
there.
saved by Mankoff. These IOs are really nice. Got Pugh with the disc again. Oh, not quite in.
These throws are very pretty.
Mankoff. Oh, looks like we've got a call of some sort. Maybe a foul on the mark. I'm not sure.
While doing their stand
Mankoff.
here.
Oh, another foul downfield. Just getting a little tangled.
Just getting a little tangled. The Wild are holding really strong here on the doorstep, trying to keep San Francisco from scoring.
Yes, I agree. And you can feel the pressure.
Yeah, definitely with 2 minutes left.
Yeah. So at this point too, the clock starts stopping when there's a stoppage of play. Munson with the disc. And a stall called by Kircher. I feel like Kircher had her.
Stall called
Or was it by Songer? Oops.
Songer, and it appears to be she's making the hand sign for uncontested stall, and the
Yes.
observer is making the sign for it is a substitution. Sumida is going to come out. That is an uncontested stall is what you're looking for.
Yes.
That's a defensive
yes.
stand.
Yes, yes.
I think if you're the Wild, I would also put
All
someone
right,
in.
mates, they're doing so good out there.
So,
let's get an overall cheer for all the players on the field right now.
oh, yep, so Songer will tap the disc in. They've got a little bit of time to get into a stack. Over to Stanislavski. Up to Caldwell. Caldwell unmarked. Somebody give her a hug.
Kaylee has to be the freshest legs out there. I
Yes,
she's
she
going to
is.
do a lot of running.
Yeah, Perquette back up to Songer. Yep, we've got Caldwell still now has a defender on her. It's a miscommunication there. Back up to Caldwell. A lot of traffic, a lot of people cutting. Back up to Perquette. Back up to Caldwell. Caldwell around to Kircher. Kircher to Williams. Williams back around to Kircher.
Wild attacking really strongly
Caldwell.
right now.
Oh,
my
Caldwell with a
goodness,
beautiful
Caldwell.
throw to Kircher.
The Wild with the goal line stand, walk it back down to take a
Oh, my
2-goal
God.
lead with less than a minute left. That is a team digging deep right there.
Oh, hugs for Caldwell all around. Hugs for Kircher.
And if you're the Falcons, that is a dagger. Look at this beautiful
That
throw. A perfectly weighted disc
Man.
to Kircher.
Like I said, you should see her play pickleball.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it. I don't want to think about it. And the Wild really at playing that two-person game a little bit more in the
Yes,
second half
yes,
and getting
yes.
some success out of it, taking advantage of the
Yeah.
switches and such.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Paige Kircher with 1 goal, 3 assists, 2 turns, which, and you could look at those 2 turns, but then you realize how many touches she has for those 2 turns, and she is just unreal.
I don't think the stats really show her impact
Yes,
tonight,
exactly.
and-
The
or
yards
her impact
will.
on the team. Yes,
Exactly.
Yes, the yards will. Shout out to WUL stats for pulling those together.
Oh, yeah.
We got Lily Terpstra.
Lily Terpstra with the nice big pull. Wow. And Pugh picking up over to Chang. Back to Pugh.
Wild are in the zone look, which I
Pugh to Broom.
think is strong here to keep them
I
from being
agree.
able to score quickly.
Let's see. Pugh with the disc again through the cup. Broom with the disc over to Chang. Oh, Chang up to Broom. Let's see. Chang with the disc, slicing through the middle, doing a really nice job. Up to Broom.
Wow, just letting them
Back
have
to
those
Chang.
easy resets, but not having the
Yeah.
end zone shots or
Exactly.
or wide swing or
Over-
throws to the middle here.
Exactly. Over to Pugh. Got 2 seconds left on the clock. And
There it
time
is.
has expired. That is game. Oh, which they end with a goal.
So a great catch by Meru to finish the game,
Yeah.
but the Wild kill enough clock here
Oh.
to finish it out for the Utah Wild victory.
Oh, that was incredible. What a well-fought game by both teams.
And yeah, what a action-packed fourth and a really exciting last few minutes in the sequence there.
Yes, yes.
I really thought that Songer played really well tonight, showing her importance to the team, but I also thought that Mac Perquette played well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's watch this great
Let's
catch
watch
in
this
traffic by
catch.
Meru.
Ooh, that was incredible. Oh, and I think, I mean, it was a nice layout, but I also think she was a little nervous about keeping it in, and so, but the yellow line was not the line she needed to be worried about.
I think, yep.
I know, so that puts Falcons with a loss, so they've got a must-win game tomorrow.
Exactly.
And Wild with a win, so they're now 2-1. That's going to help them.
And they're holding on to that second place in the Northwest Conference, which is good. You know,
Yeah.
you want to be in playoff positioning
Yeah.
with the Oregon and Seattle games still to come.
Yes. We'll give you the play of the game here in a second. We get to see some more Kat Songer. It's a good thing we talked about her before the
Exactly.
game.
Presented by Discraft here. See Kat with a huge horizontal block. Just
Yes.
gets enough of the disc here to alter its path
Yeah.
and hit it ground.
So subtle. I
So-
like that she takes the look back to see what happens.
I know, and I think that was huge.
And that was a huge play as well. I mean, in the game that really shifted. Let's take a look at our game stats. So we've got equal holds, clean holds more by the Falcons, which is pretty incredible. A few more turnovers by the Falcons, and what really made the difference was the breaks. I mean, it was a 1-point game, so obviously, but especially the percentage of breaks.
Yes.
Wild scored 50%.
I think you got to be happy with your conversion rate as the Wild. You like that your O-line can get it back. I think you want to up the number of clean holds.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest takeaway if you're the Wild. If you're the Falcons, I think you're upset you lost, but came back from multiple deficits to really pull close and put a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And they have that in them to play well tomorrow and really push Colorado or even steal a road win.
Yes, exactly. Well, in San Francisco, I mean, their D just works so well, but going back to that conversion rate, it's like, well, they only converted about 30% of those, and so they've just got to be a little bit higher. But I mean, what a wonderful game, though. Beautiful weather, and so fun to get to play under the lights. A nice big crowd, all of the things that you want, and honestly, like a nice close game. Who doesn't want to watch a really nice close game?
Exactly. Yes, a close game, an exciting game. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not a subscriber to the Western Ultimate League on YouTube, subscribe. If you've got nothing going on tomorrow, be sure to tune in tomorrow. If you've got something going on tomorrow, be sure to cancel your plans and tune in tomorrow. We've got San Francisco versus Colorado at 11, and then LA versus Utah at 2.
Yep.
This has been Western Ultimate League. I'm Alex Walker.
Yep, I'm Natalie Merrill, and thanks for tuning in to Wild Wild Weekend.
See you tomorrow.